In this lesson, you will learn how to control the cue ball with low and high, left and right spin, and all you need for that is just a squared piece of paper and 2 object balls. The rules are very simple. Of course, you have to make the object ball. If the cue ball misses the piece of paper completely, you get of course no point. If the cue ball just crosses the piece of paper, you get 1 point. If the cue ball actually stops on the paper, you get 2 points. If you're able to make contact with the object ball and both balls are leaving the piece of paper, you again get 2 points. For each ball that stays on a piece of paper, you get 1 additional point. So for example, if the cue ball stops on the paper and the object ball leaves, you get 3 points. Vice versa, the object ball stays and the cue ball leaves, you get 3 points. And if all the balls stay on a piece of paper, you get the maximum score of 4 points. And for each rail you're using, you're getting 1 additional point. Okay, first of all, let's say we are starting with actually no rail and just trying to get directly onto that 13 ball. And for that, I'm just using the follow on the cue ball. This means I'm using a bit of an angle. If I'm straight and following, the cue ball just follows the line of my cue. So I know I need to place the cue ball a bit to this side, and then the cue ball should leave that line and go more towards this direction. But how should you exactly know how much angle you have to use? Well, this is a straight shot, and the general rule is, of course, the more angle you're using, the more the cue ball will drift to the left. So, but this is a straight shot. When we just use a tiny bit of an angle, then we are able to hit the 1 ball with a really nice follow shot. You can see this was already a bit too much angle to hit the 1 ball full in the face. So just a fraction of different cue ball placement really changes the contact point on the final rail a lot. But this is only one factor. The other factor is your personal type of stroke. So if your stroke is maybe still developing and you aren't able to generate as much forwards rotation as possible with a really soft stroke, or if you're not able to hit as high as possible, maybe if you don't have a good tip, so you can't even hit as high as if you're using a good tip, then you might be able to not even hit the 1 ball with this angle. So just compare my previous stroke with this one. So here I have to hit a bit harder and I'm not hitting maximum high on the cue ball. And you can see that way I was just able to hit the 2 ball, and this is because my stroke was totally different. And if you want to, this is by the way a really nice exercise to practice this. Just set the same shot over and over again. Try to hit the 1, the 2, the 3, all the way to the 8 ball. Actually made contact with the 13 ball but hit a bit too hard and didn't hit it full. So 13 ball is on the table. We didn't use any rails, so we get a total of 3 points this time. Okay, let's place those balls randomly again. And I think this time, again, let's try to hit that 13 ball here. So this time I'm going to use 1 rail. So here in this case, when I'm playing position, when I'm trying to control the cue ball, one thing I'm also looking at is the tangent line. And here you can see the tangent line, which is the 90-degree line, goes towards here. And if you're following the tangent line, we're probably missing it a bit to this side. So tangent line means the cue ball has no forwards or backwards rotation on it. So I know if I'm using the tangent line and the cue ball comes towards here, I either need to add a bit of draw on the cue ball leaves the tangent line a bit more towards here, or just add some right spin. This is personal preference. So let's see. I like to stun the cue ball by using the tangent line and just using a bit of right spin to open the angle. So this is low and a touch of right spin on the cue ball. Visualize, very important. Visualize. I hope I pronounced that right this time. And we just missed the 13 ball. The cue ball was crossing the piece of paper, so we actually just get 1 point plus 1 additional point because we were hitting 1 rail. But let's skip the boring part where I'm just talking and actually fast forward to the next shot. And keep in mind, this is just 1 attempt, 5 shots in a row, so nothing is cut together here. Okay, let's try to use 2 rails this time. And I think we have 2 options for the 2 rails. Either use this rail and that rail, or that rail and this rail here. So personal preference, I think I'm going to use, well, it doesn't really matter. Let's try the draw version where I'm coming into here and then perfectly towards here. And also I have second chance. If I'm missing that 15 ball towards here, I accidentally have the chance to make contact with the 15 ball again and get actually 3 additional points. So again, now very important, choose your angle wisely. If you're having too little angle, you really have to power the cue ball, because the straighter you are, the more energy the cue ball will lose. So I'm using actually a bit more angle, but not too much, because I want to be able to get the cue ball easily towards here. So putting the cue ball close to the 13 ball and probably have to hit the rail right about here. Then I either make contact with that 15 ball. If I'm hitting a bit more here, I have the chance to hit it from behind. So here you of course could play just low on the cue ball and use the draw, but I like to control those balls just with spin on the table. My rails are new with new cloth, so the rail is a little bit slippery, so spin is a bit tricky to actually play still here. I'm not used to it, but let's actually try to do that here. So I'm using a right spin and a bit of low actually on the cue ball here. And exactly in between, but the cue ball crossed the paper but got back to the paper. So this means we have 2 rails plus 2 points, which makes a total of 4 points. Nope, it's actually 5 points because we hit that third rail. And now let's place the balls randomly on the table like this. So here of course the easiest version again would be trying to hit the 1 ball, bringing the cue ball towards here and just following. This is really easy. You can even hit, get 1 extra point for hitting that rail, but we're actually trying to make it a bit more difficult this time. So I'm trying to hit that 1 ball, which was right about here. And let's try to use this angle here and go 1, 2, 3 rails in the best case, and then hit that 1 ball here. So again, you have to know how much angle you need, where you want to hit the first rail, where you want to hit the second rail in order to hit the right spot on the third rail. So let's just figure it out real quick. I'm almost straight here on this shot, and I'm just going to hit this rail here using some right spin to come towards here, probably towards here, I guess, and then hit that 1 ball. Let's fast forward again, but notice how important it is to visualize and prepare the shot. And please stay. So we hit 3 rails, just a bit too hard. This ball is on a piece of paper, so we have 3 points for this, and we hit 3 rails, which are a total of 6 points so far. I have no idea how many points I have in total, but we have 1 more shot to come. So let's see. Balls are like this. If you want to make sure, if you're in a match, then for example use the side pocket here, use this pocket here, just follow the ball to bring it towards here. That's the easiest version. So let's actually try something really crazy. Go into here, here the 3rd rail, the 4th rail, and maybe even the 5th rail. This is a really low percentage shot, but this is something you should be able to see as well. And I have no idea how close I'm getting to hit that 7 ball here. So let's see if we can get, very important to hit that 7 ball here. So again, tiny bit of cue ball difference makes a huge difference, because we have to travel a really long path this time. So let's put it like this. I like to check it from below where exactly I'm traveling. Just give me a second to visualize everything. And while I'm visualizing, make sure to leave a thumbs up if you were enjoying this video so far. And at least we got on the paper, the cue ball is on the paper. So what was my mistake here? I actually had a bit too little angle on this shot, so a bit more angle would have meant that the cue ball would have hit a bit more here instead of here, and that way it would have been perfect. So you can see this was probably just a tiny bit that we were off. Well, I have no idea how many points I actually got, but I will show you in the top left of your screen. And as I mentioned, let me know in the comments how many points you got. And I would recommend in the beginning, don't go those multiple rails and get those extra points. Just try to master the shots where you just have to follow the ball. So for example, like this, where you know I have to use a bit of an angle to land perfectly on the piece of paper. So this is very important to master this shot, and then try to use 2 rails, 1 rail, 3 rails, 4 rails. Well, you know what, use as many rails as you want to. And if you enjoyed this video, then leave a thumbs up, leave a comment if you have any questions, and very important, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell notification for more pool lessons. That's it for today, so thanks for watching guys, and as always, see you at the next lesson. Take care.